What is going on, ladies and gents? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Lonnie from Flight Sim Gaming. Today we are doing another flight in the Flight Sim Studio E-Jets. This time we are flying with BermudAir, and we are on the ground in Toronto. Some of you may be wondering, why? Well, BermudAir will be commencing flights to Canada starting the second or third week of May. They're doing 3 flights to Toronto, 1 to Halifax. Very excited for that. You know, I've wanted to do a flight with BermudAir. The initial flight that we did last from Miami to Bahamas was going to be from Boston to Bermuda in BermudAir. With BermudAir, sorry. But I never ended up doing that flight, never followed through with it. I love the livery of this airline. I love the tail. It's fantastic. Vibrant colors. It suits Bermuda to a T. But anyways, we are here in Toronto. We are doing what would be their flight from Toronto to Bermuda. The weather looks great over here. We're sitting at Terminal 3. I'm not sure where this aircraft is going to board and deboard from. I'm imagining Terminal 3. Terminal 1 is used, I believe, for Air Canada and some bigger international airliners over there. So we'll see what happens. Anyways, ladies and gents, we got 2 hours of flying ahead of us. Let's jump inside the aircraft. Let's get this thing up in the air. Having some issues with this aircraft lately. It's buggy since its last update. I don't know what to say. We're gonna make do of what we can. Departing off of runway 23 today. It's dry. Let's go ahead and sync the weather. The winds are 170 at 10. Go ahead and send all that in. Beautiful. Let's get rid of this. We'll load up the McDo here, and we'll get this thing in the air sooner rather than later. I'm having some throttle problems with this aircraft. I'm having flight director problems. I'm having flight plan problems. Shit, I could list a whole bunch of things with this aircraft at the moment. This aircraft was much better to fly. I don't know what happened with Flight Sim Studios in their last update. I don't think, you know, there's a lot of issues with it. I don't think they should be waiting a whole month when everybody's kind of having the same problems. Waiting a whole month to, I guess, do a hot fix. But anyway, well, let's not complain. We're here. We love flying this aircraft, right? Let's go ahead and apply the flight plan. We're going to look over the flight plan momentarily because I'm having issues with certain waypoints being all mixed up. We'll come over to the departure tab here. We are departing off of runway 23 on the KEPTA 3 departure BIMPA transition. Bam, arrival. ILS 30, ILS Zulu 30 from Curran on the Momom 1 arrival, and the Bovik trans. Apply that. Lovely. Come over to the flight plan page. Here's where the waypoints are messed up, I believe. So Spidey and Dodgers are out in the middle of the ocean. Oh boy. Alright, we're going to be here a little minute, ladies and gents. Let me get this sorted out. Let's go ahead and start deleting things that we don't need. And we're going to re-import them. KEPTA X-Toll, so let's keep clearing. KEPTA BIMPA Avon. Let's see where this goes. Avon, Xtol, Mems, Cody, Arc, JFK, Ship, from Ship, we'll go Dodgers. We're not going to plug in all those waypoints. Ship, Dodgers, we'll go Isle. Ship, Dodgers, Isle. From Isle, it's King. From King, it's Kinner. From Kinner is the arrival. Holy schmoly. Isles, King, Kinner, Bovik, David, Momum, Capel, Curran, arrival. Beautiful. Holy smokes. Let's see what else is going to bug off, shall we? Perf init. So, taxi fuel 163 / 200. We're climbing up 31,000 feet. Average winds 293 at 47. CG's good. Zero fuel weight is always off by a couple thousand kg. We won't worry about that. Make sure we have good fuel, which we do. Takeoff data set. Addicts can go on. It's 12 degrees. FMS takeoff. It's going to be a flaps 2 departure, which we want. Let's come over to the takeoff init page. And I think it's 170 at, it's 130 at 4 presently. Plug that in. We get a little bit of a crosswind, but that's okay. Takeoff speeds, we have 140, 139, 42, 43. The VFS 199. And departure limit. We are all good there. We should go over to our takeoff page. Sorry, not our takeoff page. Climb page, 18,000. 18,000. Beautiful. The other thing I was saying, my V speeds would sometimes disappear. Wow. That was, that's why you always gotta look over your flight plans, because you never know, you know, what can happen to the actual aircraft. Let's go ahead and let's just make sure auto throttle seems to be working. Great, it wasn't working before, but the flight director thing, I don't know, it's not coming on. We're gonna go 199 on the speed. Takeoff heading 237. And we're climbing up 5,000 feet on initial climb. Altimeter 296. 2960. Beautiful. Trim 3.6 on the trim. Another thing we got to look is the trim sometimes will, you can set it, but don't forget about it, because I've noticed a couple times once I get onto the runway that the trim is all messed up. Let's go ahead and start off that APU now that we are all boarded up. Come back outside. We'll have a look at Navigraph here. Show you guys kind of what we're doing here on the Kepta 3 departure. We have our information up here. Kepta 3 for our runways. 23 is this one. Might just hold off and just let this APU spool up. It's very noisy. Beautiful. If we read our notes here on the initial climb, it says, unless otherwise assigned by ATC, climb heading 237 to 1100. From 1100, we're going to make a right turn to heading 245 and expect radar vectors to Saturn. Departing runway heading 1100 feet. Make a right turn, 245. Probably take that out about 10 miles or so, and then we'll go direct Savor from there. Pretty standard. The weather information, winds in Toronto 130 at 4. We got a few clouds at 4, 10, and 15,000 feet. It's 12 degrees. Altimeter 2960. Beautiful. In Bermuda, should be pretty nice. The winds are 330 at 10. It's a few clouds, so we'll see what we get once we get out there. APU is up and running. Let's go ahead. We'll disconnect the GPU. Let's go ahead and get ready for pushback. Beautiful. Another issue I've been having with this aircraft on takeoff, I get a warning message. TLA not toga. I don't know what that means. That's after auto thrust has kind of kicked in. So hopefully we don't experience any of these issues. I'm not trying to turn around back to Toronto. When I get that message, there's nothing really wrong with the actual throttles. Everything seems to be okay. But yeah, ladies and gents, if you're enjoying the content, smash down that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel if you have not.
Departure checks completed.
It's been a minute since I've posted any content. Just want to thank everybody who comes out to support the channel on a regular basis. Believe it or not, I still get subscribers, even though I'm not really posting any content. So that's quite a surprise to me. Want to appreciate everybody for that, and I'm doing the best that I can to get content out. I've been taking these longer and unusual times off from posting some content. So the goal is to we'll get back to doing at least a video a week, just to stay fresh with some of the flight sim content out there. Work's getting a little bit busy. We are in the middle of tire season. I'm also doing training for our new electric vehicles coming to the market. So I am the EV Tech at my store, and I'm just I'm a little focused with that at the moment. So I do apologize. Not that I'm not posting, any more YouTube content. It's just taking a longer than anticipated break. Okay, quick edit pushback. Let's have a look-see-peek-see. And yeah, I think that's where we want to go, ladies and gents. Make sure everything looks okay up here. Perfect. Go ahead, start engine number 1. BermudAir. I've always wanted to do a video with BermudAir. Initially, the last video we did a flight from Miami to Bahamas, but that flight was originally scheduled to be with BermudAir from Boston to Bermuda. I just never got around to doing that one. I believe some new Miami scenery had come out, so I wanted to showcase that. But yeah, we're here at BermudAir. Great to see that they're making connections and networking elsewhere in North America. They're mainly on the East Coast. They have these smaller aircraft, so they're not really long range. Can't remember if I think I had seen an article. They're buying some A220s, I believe. Don't hold me to it. That could be misinformation. Engine number 2. They get some A220s. Whoa. What was that? Yeah, if they get some A220s, then they have some other options in terms of where they can go on their network. So. And we are running frame gen. Initially, I was doing auto FPS. It's not a bad tool, but the reason why I stopped using frame gen in the first place was because of the DX12 ground texture issue. I just wasn't happy to see that, so I tried the auto FPS. Auto FPS is not bad. I noticed it's very buggy and stuttery. It's very buggy and very stuttery. And so I decided to opt back to the frame gen mod. It's great. You know, we're getting 73 FPS here in Toronto. So, beautiful. Let's come up top here. Let's not get distracted. APU can come off. Taxi lights can come on. We get our flaps out. Lovely. Let's open up Navigraph. We'll have a look at our taxi routing. We are at Charlie 30, which means we are going to go Alpha Juliet. We'll make a right on Alpha, right on Hotel for runway 23 on the Kepta 3 departure for Gosling 905. Gosling is the call sign. BMA, I only imagine that abbreviation is BermudAir, sorry. And I don't know what their call sign is going to be coming to Toronto. I decided to make it 905. 905 is an area code here in the GTA. APU shutting down. Ladies and gents, parking brake coming off.
Takeoff, okay.
Takeoff, okay, ladies and gents. We are ready. V1 simulations showcasing this aircraft a lot lately. Very happy to see. Finally, one of the bigger names out there is not only showcasing this aircraft, but they're actually enjoying flying it too. It's a great aircraft to fly. You know, it's got its bugs. You know, some of these things that I'm noticing from this past update we never had before. So I can't really be super annoyed with some of the stuff that might be happening during my experience, because so far it's been great. I've had this aircraft I think for about 6 months now, maybe 8 months. But yeah, V1 is loving this aircraft. He was a captain, so he knows how to fly it. It's good to see it getting some love. It's a great aircraft to fly. I can't argue that. Flight model's fantastic. Systems, we lack the systems, but they're coming. And our trims disappeared. Let's go ahead and reset the trims. I don't know why it said takeoff okay. I gotta go back and see the video if my trims was set prior to the takeoff okay. I'm not sure if takeoff okay is supposed to recognize its trim value. Probably just has to be within the green, I would imagine, within the green bar. Anyways, let's try to have a smooth flight here. Never know what to expect in this aircraft. Altimeter 2960. Beautiful. Enjoying the content, ladies and gents. Don't forget to smash down that thumbs up button. Subscribe to the channel if you have not. Let me know in the comments if you're getting bored of the E-Jet stuff. You know, I fly it because I enjoy flying it. I got a good reception flying this aircraft as well. You know, it was one of the... I wouldn't say I was one of the first to fly it, but definitely one of the first to post content regularly with it. So it's got a special place in my heart. Plus, like I said, I enjoy flying this aircraft. It's different. I've been flying a lot of Phoenix stuff lately. We were on VATSIM the last month or so. I was doing some flights on VATSIM. So we'll bring it we'll bring it out on the channel very soon. This hotel here. We'll make sure we get on out there ASAP. No delay. Let's get this aircraft up in the air. We got 2 hours and 20 minutes of flying time. Should still be sunny once we get to Bermuda. Could be, sun could be coming down. I don't know. TCAS on and reporting. Strobe lights, inspection lights, landing lights. Let's get it lit up, ladies and gents. Looking for an update from Fly Tampa. It's in the works. I'm hoping it happens sooner rather than later. This airport needs it for sure. Anyways, let's go ahead and stop here. Lovely. Alright, ladies and gents. Enjoy the takeoff here. Let's get the throttles up. Let's make sure I don't get that TLA message. Takeoff auto thrust is set. Gonna have some wind coming from the left there. Knots is set.
V1, rotate.
And positive rate of climb. Gear going up. And we're going heading. Heading 245, ladies and gents. Flight level changes in. We'll pitch down for climb. Flaps 1 indicated. .210 on the speed. This aircraft a little twitchy at times. Let's go ahead. Get the aircraft up to 31,000 feet. We'll also speed up. We'll go 250. Beautiful, ladies and gents. Beautiful departure. It's how you have to fly this aircraft. You know, you have to, gotta be gentle with it. Beautiful. No warning messages. Everything's looking fantastic. I'm loving it. Let's go ahead and start making our left turn. Direct Saver. I'm gonna go ahead and throw it in autopilot. Beautiful departure. Come upstairs, nose lights can come off, and inspection light. I believe that was the 407 down there. This, I believe, is the 403. Goes into Mississauga. Beautiful. Got Oakville down here. If I'm not mistaken, this is the 403 QE split. This is the 407 403 split. This will take you pretty much all the way back down to the other end of the QEW in Hamilton. Hamilton's over here. Let's watch what the aircraft's doing. 8,500 feet. Everything's looking normal. Let's go ahead and sync our heading. Downtown Toronto over here. Beautiful. Let's continue to watch this aircraft here. So we're coming up on 10,000 feet here. 31,000 is plugged in. We are climbing up 31,000 on today's flight. In flight level change. Don't remember if I called out flight level change. You want to do that after about 1,000 feet. So we'll go ahead. Landing lights can come off and speed her all the way up to 90. Beautiful. Beautiful day here in Toronto. Blue skies. That's how I like my weather. Blue skies, warm weather. There's Toronto, the skyline in the background. That Sam scene 3D. Much better than the Asobo stuff. I fly out of Toronto quite often on this channel, don't I, ladies and gents? We do enough flights, I think, to and from Toronto. It's probably time we head on out somewhere else. In a pilot's life, I'm currently flying in Australia with the E190. I've switched my rating from A320 from the Airbus over to the E-Jets, just to do something a little bit different. We're flying with Qantas. Maybe I'll do some flights out in Australia. There's a nice flight I can do. Brisbane over to... I think Wellington. We can do a nice 3-hour flight over to New Zealand, which would be pretty cool. Beautiful Lake Ontario. Coming up on 12,000 feet there. We've reached our speed. Now we're just going to monitor this flight. All the way up to 31,000 feet, ladies and gents. I will cut it from here. And I'll see you all on the arrival into Bermuda, ladies and gents. Enjoy the rest of the video. Thanks for coming out. Catch you all in a bit, ladies and gents. Peace. What's going on, ladies and gents? Welcome back to the video. We are on the descent into Bermuda. We are expecting the ILS 30 approach. We're on the Momum, what is it? It's the Momum 1 RNAV arrival. We are descending at the present time. We'll have a look at the arrival here. Pretty standard here. We got to be above 12,000 at Momum, and then we have some speed and altitude restraints as we come to the end of the approach here. This is kind of the arrival, so we are we're gonna basically, once we hit, I guess, Capel, we're gonna be on a heading of 146. Depending on how much altitude we need to lose there, we are going to kind of vector ourselves to final. Now, we are going to go towards Curran, where we're going to be at 3,000 feet. It's about 15 miles out from the runway, and then we will capture the glide and descend on down. Pretty straightforward there. The winds are 330 at 9. Visibility is 10,000 meters or greater. A few clouds at 3,500 feet. It's 21 degrees. Altimeter 1021. We'll come down into the McDo here, get rid of Navigraph, and we'll make sure we got our landing information set here. So runway heading, final approach course, 297. We got the landing temp is 21 degrees, altimeter 1021, winds are 330 at 9. Beautiful, all is well in there. We are on the a 3-degree descent down into Bermuda, basically to get your calculations to determine you know, your, I guess, your angle of descent. Basically, you got to take what your current altitude is, you got to minus what altitude you need to be at, and then it'll give you a number. That is how much altitude you need to lose, depending on whatever angle you want to descend at. We usually descend at about 3 degrees. Whatever that number is of that altitude that you need to lose, you multiply that by 3, it's going to give you a number, and that's basically the distance that you need to start your top and descent at. So we started at about 90 miles out. I believe the number calculation was about 84 miles. I think 94 miles was where I started my descent. We want to give ourselves about 10 miles for any speed restrictions that we kind of have there. Anyways, let's set up our course here. 297 is the final approach course. This way we set ourselves up for the ILS. Beautiful, 297, plug that in. We kind of preview, I guess, the ILS there. We are auto brake low. We're descending down to 3,000 feet. I'm going to start winding back a little bit of speed here. 18,000 feet is going to be our transalt. And as you can see, not a cloud out in the sky. You can see Bermuda off in the distance there. Flying for about 2 hours time. All is looking well. We are going to be shooting a Flaps 5 approach. A lot of runway here in Bermuda. I believe 777s land here as well, so should be good for that. Coming up on 18,000 feet. Go ahead and altimeter 1021. Beautiful. You know, I recommend for people wanting to do some regional ops, you should probably consider grabbing this aircraft. There are a couple options that you have in the market, you know, one of them being the CRJ made by Aerosoft. They haven't done an update on that aircraft in I don't know how many years. I think it's at least 2 years. The RJ is a good option. It's a little more, I guess, developed in terms of the systems that it has. It has a VNAV in it. I do not like the flight model with the CRJ. It's very twitchy on rotation. It's very twitchy with the rudders. This aircraft, I feel like the flight model is much better, but you know, with certain pros, you're going to have cons as well. One of the cons being the systems, and you know, things like that. There has been an update with this updated build here. You can do direct twos on approach, which you couldn't do before. Direct twos is nice to have. I haven't tried it yet, but apparently it works. We're gonna get a nice, I guess, you know, turn here for final. We're gonna see. I might keep it in nav mode. We might put it in heading mode. We'll see where we get once we hit Capil. Capil, we're gonna be above 4,000. There's a waypoint we don't have that's in the charts. Is bid V. We got to be at 210 for above 3,000. We don't have that, so we'll just be mindful of basically what we're doing. That's kind of all you got to really do with this aircraft. Just be mindful of what you're doing. It's very hands-on without the VNav. A couple different ways to descend. You got your FPA, you got your vertical speed. You know, whatever you feel comfortable with, go ahead, fly it. Slowly start winding back the speed. We're descending, you know, pretty, not super aggressive. It's 2,000 feet per minute. But when we cross 10,000 feet, we got to make sure we hit that 250 knot restriction. See the sun out there in the background. Beautiful. Beautiful flying out here in Bermuda. I believe the scenery that I have is Sierra Simulations, I believe. I'm going to have a look right now. SLH Sim Design, that's what it is. That's basically the scenery that we have in the simulator. Good quality scenery. There's a couple different sceneries out there. Let's get that speed back, 250. This aircraft is known to have an issue slowing down, so we're going to throw out some speed brakes here. We'll make sure that we meet that 250 speed restriction. Coming up on 10,000 feet. Let's get our landing lights on. We're at about 250 now. Fantastic. Sending at about 1,800 feet per 1,600 feet per minute. I could probably start going at about 1,500 feet per minute. 3 minutes until Capil, where we got to be above 4,000. So we'll actually go into vertical speed mode. Go down about 1,500 feet per minute. We got to lose 6,000 feet. Should take about 4 minutes to do that. We can actually, I'll dial it back. We'll go about 1,000 feet per minute. Give us about 6 minutes there on that descent. Beautiful. There's the island out there. Hope everybody is enjoying the content. I know I am. I love flying. Plan is to get back into the swing of things here with posting content. I don't want to bore you guys with, you know, the same stuff over and over and over again. So, haven't really decided on what we're gonna do in terms of where we're gonna fly. But I want to start doing some live streaming. I know I promised before the new year that we were gonna start doing that, and we're gonna get into that probably within the next couple weeks. We'll get it out on Sundays. I haven't decided a time yet. But it'll probably be sometime in the middle of the afternoon Eastern Standard Time. We're looking around 3 p.m. I know I'm not expecting a big gathering of people because, you know, I'm relatively new on the channel or on YouTube, but I don't want to sort of jump in on some other streamers that, you know, stream at that time. I know there's some bigger names out there. I don't want to interfere with some of the viewers maybe having to go back and forth. So I was thinking maybe around 3-4 p.m. we'll do a stream 3-4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Three more thousand, 3,700 feet left to kill. I think we're looking good. We'll see what happens here. So this aircraft is a little broken. It's got the Asobo, I guess FMC, FMS, whatever you want to call it. So we'll make sure it flies this. It should. But ultimately, you never really know. Anyway, we're going to get the speed down to 210. And we'll just make sure this aircraft does what it needs to do. If it doesn't, we're going to be on a heading of... there we go. I kind of knew it would do that. Be on a heading of 120. See, some of the things here with this aircraft, it does some weird stuff like that. Usually it'll follow it. You know, I've done some other flights where it's followed the approach. In some cases it doesn't, so that's okay. We're here to save it. Always got to be on your toes. It doesn't exactly do what it wants to do. We're on a heading of 120. We'll actually go on a heading of 117. And I'm wondering if I can do a direct... Oh, there we go. So we lost our approach in our flight plan. That's okay, because you know what? We'll vector ourselves in. We'll make it simple. Final approach course, 297. So we're going to do a right turn, I guess, 230. Sorry, 260. That's what we're going to do. 800 feet per minute. One thing I forgot to do was plug in the minimums. 254. Let's get that sorted out right now. 250 on the minimum. Beautiful. Nothing to see, ladies and gents. Nothing to see. We'll get her down on the ground. Speed rolling back beautifully. 210 on the speed. Coming up on 3,000 feet. So we're going to go VL. Loc 1. And we're going to go right turn 260. Or we'll go 240. And localizer will come back. We'll make sure we cap that. think it comes and goes. It appears, I believe, 15 miles out from the airport, so we are about 17 miles, so we should be okay. And we're going to go down 1,500 feet, 500 feet per minute. Beautiful. We're going to hit approach mode, see what the aircraft does. Aircraft can be buggy at times. We'll see what it can do. 210 on the speed. At Cabum, we will. That'll make us about 10 miles out, so lots of time to slow down. Missed approach, climb to 3,000 direct, went in and hold. That's what we're going to plug in once we cap the ILS. See how the ILS works. I got some videos where the ILS just completely swings out. Yoke is capping now.
2,500.
And it looks like the Yoke captured pretty nicely. We're going to go ahead. Flaps 1. We'll bug down 190. .138 on the speed. We'll go +5, so we'll make that 143. Beautiful. There's the airport right out in front of us. That ILS captured beautifully. That's what I like to see. Heading. We'll sync the heading. 297. Go flaps 2. 170 on the speed. There's a nice little cruise ship down there. I didn't even know cruise ships came out here. Would make sense. I'm not sure where they would leave from. Maybe Europe? Not sure. 170 on the speed, flaps 2. We are about 8 miles east of the airport. Waiting for that glide slope to capture. Should capture any moment now. Flaps 3, we'll bug 160. Gear coming down. Should we get the rest of our lights on? We'll go flaps 4, 150. There's glide. $3,000. We'll go flaps 5. Final approach speed 143. Beautiful. Alright, we got gear down 3 green. Flaps 5 is indicated. We are on the glide slope. 1,000 feet above. Let's go ahead and take the aircraft. Autopilot coming off. Enjoy the arrival, ladies and gents. Got 1 white, 3 red. It's getting gusty.
400. Approaching minimums. Minimums.
Continue.
200. 100. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
A little off to the left of the center line there, but anyway, reverse her out. 70 knots. Auto brake coming off, ladies and gents. Welcome down to Bermuda. Flight time of 2 hours 18 minutes. Basically, we're going to go all the way to the end here. GSX parking. We'll go, I guess we'll go gate 4. Not the greatest landing there. But we'll take it. And we're going to vacate off on Bravo. Go ahead, clamp the flaps. Strobe lights can come off. Taxi lights can stay on. Landing lights, inspection lights, all coming off. Come upstairs. Let's get that APU fired up. Beautiful. TCAS, standby. Lovely. There's that beautiful airport out in front. And I believe stand 4 is what I picked. Yep, stand 4. Beautiful. We'll head take a little shortcut here. APU is alive. Beautiful. Once we come around here, gate 4 should be directly in front of us. It's a very nice looking airport. SLH Sim Design. They do great, great stuff. Let's get the aircraft slowed up here. Marker brake coming on. APU is alive. We're going to go ahead and shut the engines. Beautiful, ladies and gents. Beacon light can come off. Electric pump can come off.
You need to stop the engines to request ground services.
Beautiful. Request deboarding. Don't know what that was all about. Thought my throttles were cut there. It's okay. Go ahead, get the GPU on. Open up all these doors here. Go ahead, shut her down. Fasten seatbelt signs can come off. Let's go ahead and close these doors now. Beautiful, ladies and gents. Here we are. Beautiful Bermuda. Very happy with that flight. Good to be back. Flying again. Awesome. Beautiful colors. Love the tail. My goodness, that's crazy. Hope you all like that, ladies and gents. Thanks for coming out. Appreciate everybody that comes out and supports the channel on a regular basis. Love you guys. Without you guys, there is no flight sim gaming. Hopefully this is another start with bringing back content. Not that I'm trying to avoid doing that. You know, it's a little busy sometimes, so I do apologize for that. But I hope you have yourselves a wonderful week. Warmer temps are coming our way here in Canada. Very happy for that. And I'll catch y'all on the next flight, ladies and gents. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Thank you very much. Take care. Peace!